Alrighty, boys and girls. It's been a while since I did a video about the other infamous beloved Shyte Missile. I really thought this thing had beaten me. I put a lot of effort into it. Put a lot of not a lot of money, but a little bit of money into it, and I think I've got it. Quick rundown. I shot a little bit of video on what was going on with the car before, but I didn't like the quality of the video. It kind of stunk. So let me give you a quick rundown. What happened was the car, like when you take off somewhere, depending on what the driving conditions were, it would fall completely on its face as if it was running out of gas. Then you'd pin it to the floor and it would light up like a rocket. Boom. Well, as much as the Shyte Missile can be a rocket. And it would take off. So that leads us to believe that it was a fuel delivery issue, which you'll understand why it wasn't. So I got online and a couple of guys had mentioned, well, it's the throttle position sensor, your TPS, or MAP sensor, that's manifold absolute pressure, or plug catalytic converter is what one technician told me. I disagreed with the plug catalytic converter because this thing would go no problem. I could get her to do 150 kilometers an hour, like just mash it and she's gone. So that led me to believe that that wasn't a possibility. So I kept looking and kept looking. So I'm running that scanner, and I took a bunch of pictures of the scanner, and it's probably not helpful to anybody unless they're basically a tech. But I was getting this intermittent problem with the output on bank 1, sensor 1, the first O2 sensor. And it was erratic reading. So I'm watching all these guys on the net, on the internet, Watch West Work and Rain Man Ray and all that. And I'm looking at the output that they see on oxygen sensors on vehicles that they're testing. And mine didn't look like that. Mine had it was close, but there was a lot of dead spots in it, like where it wasn't doing really much. It was getting lazy. So that Ansel scanner that I ran a scan on it, and it said time. There was a time problem in switching of the cat. So I don't know exactly what that means. But, thought, what the heck, give it a shot. And I changed it out. Because, there was a freeze frame that generated. And it said high voltage in the S1 circuit. Sensor 1, bank 1, O2 circuit, right? So high voltage means that it's gone open, or the wire's disconnected. So I thought, you know what? I'll get on the jungle site, and Scamazon there, and I ran, did a search, and I found a Nippon O2 sensor, and I ordered that. It was $80. I got it, and I put it in. It was $17 for the socket, $80. So there, we're into a $100 bill all the day long, and put it in, and the car ran perfect, and I mean perfect. It's still throwing an engine light, and I haven't run a scan on it because I really don't care anymore. And I know it's going to be the evap leak, which is, there's nothing I can do to fix that because the tubes are rotted off and I'm just not into it. And so I'm going to leave that. So yeah, that's it. The saga continues, I guess. I put the whole question to this was, could you run a beater car, one that should be destined? Most people would not, they would just scrap it, right? And I thought, you know what? Why it runs like a gem. It's just disgusting how nice this thing runs, and how beat up the car is. But that being said, I threw a set of snow tires on it, brand new with studs, because we're in New Brunswick, because why not? And Yeah, I've been beating her up and down the highway. If you don't pound it too hard, you can get probably maybe 7 liters per 100 kilometers of driving for fuel mileage. I know that's an American thing. I don't know what that equates to, 30 miles a gallon or something. You'd have to do the math. I'm not doing it for you. If you're that interested, you can figure it out. So right now, I think there's going to be a change coming. We're going to go, hopefully, if everything goes to plan, from the Shyte Missile to the Red Rocket. And the Red Rocket's coming, hopefully, if everything goes to plan. That'll be replacing the Shyte Missile, because I'm going to lend the Shyte Missile out to someone who's in need of a car, and they need a car to make a livelihood. So we're doing that. The car's going to be lent out for a while. But it's the very best that the car can be, except there's one exception. In New Brunswick, we have a pothole problem. And you have no idea. I mean, potholes. Big, nasty, gnarly potholes on our major highways. Our major thoroughfare highways that are supposed to be safe to operate a vehicle on, because they make sure your vehicle's safe to operate the vehicles on their roads, yet their roads are unsafe for any vehicle to operate on. I hit a pothole on Wednesday night coming back north, and I hit a small pothole which jostled the car and startled me, and it landed in a bigger pothole. And I mean, it landed hard, and I was doing about 110 kilometers an hour, which is roughly 70 miles an hour in American. And wham! Whew, yeah, it shook me hard. So I bring the car back, I come out and I look at it in the morning, and the rim is bent. The flanges, or the rim bead, is bent over in 2 spots on the front. So it was the initial hit plus a second hit, and one on the back. So Jake and I took the rim off and we beat it back straight. I didn't want to show you that because, I don't know, I didn't take the time to do the video. My mind's not been lately on anything that has to do with video. But I did get injured. I smashed my finger pretty good, which is part of the course. Anyway, we straightened out the rim. We're driving the car now, and it's got a wee bit of toe knocked out of her, I think. Not much. The car feels okay. It still tracks straight, but the steering wheel's clocked slightly to the right. So, from what I can tell, I don't think it's going to be a detriment to tire life. The tires, Motomaster, Canadians, Motomaster tires, it held up wonderfully. I mean, you wouldn't believe how bad this rim bent. And the tire's perfect. It lived. So, yeah, anyway, that's a positive. So I'm home for the holidays, for Christmas. Everybody out there, all my fans, have a very Merry Christmas. The odometer now on the Shyte Missile. What are we at now? 166688. Yeah. And there she is. She lights up beautifully. She idles nice. She drives nice. No hesitations. It takes off from the corners nice. Still has the exhaust leak up at the front, but everything is good. So, in a nutshell, thank you very much for tuning in. Supporting the channel. I know the Shyte Missile series is kind of a dud, but I thought I'd close it up. And Merry Christmas to all my viewers. If you're Jewish, Happy Hanukkah. I don't know what everybody else celebrates, but anyway, whatever it takes to make your world a happy place, you do it. As long as you don't hurt anybody else. So that's where we are now. I'm going to spend some time regenerating my batteries, getting my mind straight, and figure out what the new year holds for us. Anyway, talk to you soon. Thanks for tuning in again. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, come back often. We'll see you soon, and have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.